Hi, I'm Jodie Brammer and I'm the female health coach, and essentially I help women to fix their periods so they can just, well, love their life. Because periods don't have to be awful if they're really heavy or painful or just ruining your life. This is not cool. We've got to sort them out because our period is the window into our health. Every single month we've got an opportunity to see whether our health is good or not so good. If it's missing, if it's painful, if it's heavy, if it's weird kind of colours, it's a chance to dig inside and find out what's going on, and then we can adjust things accordingly. So today I'm going to walk you through the different colours that your period blood can be, and I will show you what they mean. I'll talk to you about understanding them, and then we can make a plan going forward of exactly what to do. So let's start with number 1. Pale pink, like a raspberry colour. This might indicate that there is low estrogen. If you're not really getting much of a flow, if it's just a bit like a couple of days, it doesn't really last very long, and if it's very pale pink, you're thinking low estrogen. And often this can come from undernourishment, overexercise, and lots of stress. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is please up your food intake and calm the exercise down. A lot of us these days are just running, we're going on marathon runs, training for marathons, we're doing spin classes and everything that is just putting a lot of cardio on our body. And that is not great for hormones. And I see this so much. We want estrogen to be high. It's actually really important for our bones and our general health. It's important for our memory. It builds up our uterine lining. So it's important if we're trying to get pregnant. We want to have good, healthy, reddish periods. So please, calm things down, swap your exercise to things like yoga or a bit more strength training, just something that is a bit more gentle in the body and is not going to raise your stress hormones. Now the second colour is bright red. It's like a cherry red. This is the optimal balanced hormone period. When it just flows nicely, there's no clots. This is beautiful. It's like cherry and everything is indicating that all is okay in period land. So go for it. You don't need to really change much. The third colour is more of a purplish colour. This indicates that there is possibly excess estrogen, especially in relationship to progesterone. So yes, we want estrogen to be a good amount, but we don't want it to get too high, because if it gets too high, we can start to see maybe things like growths in our uterus. Excess estrogen is also related to things like fibroids, endometriosis, polyps, any kind of growth in our uterus. So we want to be making sure that the excess estrogen gets out. And the way we can do this is by supporting our organs of detoxification and elimination. So our liver and our bowels. We need to be making sure that we're having a good poo every day. It needs to come out long and in one piece, and it needs to be like a light brown colour and sink to the bottom of the toilet. If it is anything but that, we may have a problem. So we've got to work on our gut health. Things like fibre, things like probiotics, all of this is really useful. Flax seeds can be especially great in this area because they do both. They also help bind to excess estrogen, pull it out, and so it's just amazing. Liver support, things like leafy green vegetables, grapefruit can be useful, turmeric, all of those herbs like coriander and parsley, get those in your diet, making sure you're having broccoli and cabbage and anything green, get it in, support your liver, and making sure that you're not exposed to too many toxins during the day. So no sprays around the house, no perfumes, natural stuff that is just going to go on your body and in your life, so you're not putting an excess burden on your liver. Remember, ladies, as well, that excess alcohol drinking is going to put a burden on your liver, so maybe calm down that wine drinking as much as you love it. Colour number 4 is brown. Now, often this means that there's oxidation happening, which means that the blood is exposed to air. This can be when your blood is around a little bit longer in your uterus, maybe from the previous period, it just hasn't been eliminated properly. In things like Eastern medicine, it's often referred to as stagnation and things just aren't flowing properly. So you might want to look at gently moving the body, but also acupuncture can be really useful. We want to make sure that we don't have a tilted pelvis, so things aren't getting stuck, or a tilted uterus, should I say. So you might want to work with a chiropractor or osteopath as well to make sure that everything is in alignment. And I'm just going to do this with my hands. Does that make sense? Then also, sometimes the brown colour can be related to progesterone or low progesterone levels. Progesterone is really important for maintaining the uterine lining. If we're seeing lots of spotting and if it is brown for quite a few days, we're thinking low progesterone. This can often be related to stress and is most often related to stress. So watch what you're doing in your life. If you're feeling like you're just running and you never quite stop, self-care is absolutely vital. Now, the final thing I want to talk to you about is not really a colour, but it's very, very important. If your period is missing, this can be a problem. Oftentimes it might mean that you're not ovulating, maybe there's an adrenal problem, which is all to do with your stress hormones. It might be that your thyroid is a little bit out of whack. It's a gland that sits just here and it's responsible for maintaining hormone balance everywhere. And it's really important that we get that checked and we just make sure that our body is in good health. It can also be a sign of PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS if you're in America. There's so many different words. So it's really, really important that we get this checked and we get to the root cause, we find out what's going on, we balance our hormones, and we just, more importantly than anything, pay attention to our body and find out what it's trying to tell us. So instead of using tampons and just shoving a plug up there every month, try and just let it flow, use a natural pad where possible so we can actually assess what's going on. If it's clotty, if it's heavy, if it's painful, if it's just not there, if it's missing, we really need to be listening to our body, seeing what it's trying to tell us, and then we can tweak our life accordingly. That's all it takes. Listening, tweaking, feeling great. Obviously, if you've got any concerns, please chat to your doctor, because sometimes it's just worth having a quick check, doing a few scans, making sure everything's okay. But also, if you need extra support, come and find me. I'm more than happy to chat to you. Leave comments below this video. You can find me on Instagram as well, where I take lots of questions, because it's so vital that we sort this out and you can just get on with your life and feel amazing. It's all about empowerment. If you enjoyed this video, obviously, please hit subscribe and press that bell thing, because that will tell you anytime we've got a new video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon.